Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Friend or Foe. I am your play-by-play caster of Magnus HGTW, and joined with me again, our color caster, Tef. Tef, welcome back to HBK versus Tub.
Yeah, this game is for sure going to be a pretty good one. Both of these teams have winning records. Tub is still undefeated. I believe they might be the only team that is still undefeated. I'll have to double check that. We're going to see the Tristana ban come through here, and a Nico Hover ban, which is kind of confusing. Maybe H Block has a member who is a one trick on it. I'm not too sure. Yeah, that is going to be a Nico ban.
Okay,
some kind of respect, I guess.
Hidden Tech. Now they're banning the Malzahar. It looks like they're banning my champions, which is throwing me off quite a bit here. And then there's the patented Friend or Foe Nocturne ban being covered as well.
Yeah, Nocturne has seen a lot of ban presence and some pick presence. I haven't seen it picked a ton, but it's definitely banned quite often in this league. The Yone is going to come through here too as a ban, which Yone is a pretty powerful scaling champion, and he can also solo carry some team fights. I would definitely be wary if the enemy team has a strong Yone on their team.
Both teams electing to put a lot of pressure against the mid laners of each team, and it's kind of showing off, with the exception of Shen and Nocturne, obviously, but a lot of mid lane bans coming out here on HBK especially.
Yeah, we're going to see the Hecarim picked up here for Team H Block, which he's a very strong meta jungler right now. I'd like to see Tub respond with maybe like the Udyr if they wanted to, or if they were able to play the Lilia. The Lilia is pretty good because she can match the clear speed of Hecarim decently well. They're going to pick Nautilus here, which I find a bit strange. I think Nautilus is not a very strong blindable support, so I'm expecting maybe they're just going to pick a super strong bot lane here. Maybe the Kai'Sa, maybe a Xayah, maybe a Vayne. Oh,
or they've subverted your expectation again, and the Rengar has been picked up. Interesting pick. Don't see too many Rengars these days.
Yeah, and I don't believe it's necessarily a great matchup for the Rengar anyways. The Rengar, I can't imagine, clears fast enough to keep up with the Hecarim, and in a 1v1, if Hecarim wants to, he could probably just run away with Phase Rush. But maybe they know something that I don't. Maybe it's just a super strong comfort pick of theirs. We'll just have to see how it ends up playing out. They're going to pick up the Morgana. This is a good counter pick support. We saw the Nautilus get picked, and I said I don't think it's a very strong blindable support. And for this exact reason, you pick a strong enchanter into it, and there's not a lot that the Nautilus can do now in lane.
And now I'm sad, not because of just the Morgana, but because there's once again, no Pyke in my games for today. So I'm a sad boy, but Sion is getting picked up over on HBK's side, and I've seen quite a few Sion plays go unappreciated of how much this guy can just lock down teams.
Yeah, and also it kind of shows that they're trying to maybe at least put this Sion weak side. He's a pretty strong weak side champion. He has infinite scaling off of his W passive, where he can gain health per minions killed, per units killed. And we're going to see the Kai'Sa picked up. So like I said, the Nautilus Kai'Sa, it's a pretty strong bot lane, has a lot of 2v2 kill potential. And now I'd imagine that they're going to ban out most likely like a Caitlyn and another safe ADC. One that can't play off of the Morgana.
Well, I'm a little... listen, Friend or Foe loves the Aphelios, and I'm scared now that if a certain amount of ADCs do get banned out, I'm going to see that champion in this game, and I don't know if that's the play. What kind of ADC would you prefer, given the chance for HBK to kind of run away with?
Well, I think that at least in the 2v2 matchup, Caitlyn Morgana has incredible kill power, and it's also a pretty good counter to the Kai'Sa, who's a low-ranged ADC. So I think right now, if you're HBK, you're looking for the Caitlyn pick, but like you said, I actually think that the Aphelios pick is pretty good here. You have a Rengar who wants to dive onto you. The Nautilus and Kai'Sa both want to dive onto you and are low range, relatively low range as well. That's where Aphelios thrives with his chakrams and his
200
flamethrower.
Oh yeah, flamethrower too. Yeah. But also, now I gotta pick your brain because it just happened, and they are obviously targeting that ADC pick over on HBK's side. But the Kled Aatrox ban really giving a lot of respect to Tub's top laner.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this is just, they're trying to make this Sion able to just solo chill top lane and not have to worry about getting any pressure from this Hecarim. maybe they're hoping that this ends up just being a farm lane, and that once the Scion needs to push and roam, that they'll be able to get, yeah, so this Ornn matchup, I would say is actually pretty good for this Scion. He's able to free farm, free scale, and he could potentially have push power against the Ornn if the Hecarim is invading or wants to get the Scuttle Crab or whatever. I think that this is overall a pretty decent draft by HBlock so far.
I mean, dear diary, one lane that I don't want to watch is that top lane because it's going to be wet noodle fighting for the entire game. But either way, which one? I think Scion kind of comes out ahead on that one, but Xayah does get picked up, which, I mean, that is a champion that exists for sure.
I actually think that the Xayah pick isn't that bad. She excels really well when people are running into her and fighting her. She's able to put down a ton of feathers behind them and create space by rooting people as she pulls them back. Her ultimate is a direct counter to a ton of Kai'Sa damage, the Nautilus knockup, the Rengar damage. I think that this is a pretty good pick. I would say she's not as strong as like the Aphelios, but I can see the line of thought behind this pick, and I like it. The Syndra mid, though, I guess they're hoping that they're just able to blind pick this Syndra and have it be into a matchup that she is able to farm and create pressure for the Hecarim so that the Hecarim can run in and invade or gank.
Also, the Corki being hovered there is the immediate response to that. I don't know how that's going to play out. Ooh, wait. Oh, okay. Ahri gets locked in for Tub. I like it a lot. These are two comps. I want to hear your thoughts, Tef, before we get into this game, because these are some interesting team comps across the board here.
So I think that Tub's comp is very interesting. I mean, they have a Rengar, which is already interesting on its own, plus an Ahri. That's very strange to me. But, I mean, I can see how the Ahri would beat the Syndra, and I just hope, I mean, Tub's comp needs the advantage state in order to win most of these fights, I'd imagine. If HBK gets time to get all their pieces in the right spot they want to, they're having a strong scaling Syndra, a strong scaling Scion, a Hecarim. It's going to be pretty hard for Tub to really contest once it comes to about maybe 30 minutes into the game. Before that, however, there's a lot of, potential power for this Nautilus to make plays around the map if he gets to roam off on towards the Syndra.
Which one of these teams is your vote to win it all, win this game, crush it? Which one do you vote for?
Based purely on draft, I would rather have Team HBlock's draft.
That's where I disagree with you, Tef, because guess what? Tub brought out the weird picks, the Rengar, the Ahri. You know I gotta vote for him. It's gonna be Tub all the way. And we're going to hop into this game and see which one of these casters is right and which one is grossly wrong, hopefully not me, as we hop right into the Rift.
Something to point out, though, is that this Ahri has Ignite and Electrocute. She is definitely looking to kill in lane. So we're going to see potentially either early Rengar ganks or just overall her trying to create pressure.
Yes. We have a little bit of an invade. Here comes the oh no, there's a black shield started for Morgana, and there's the hook, the flash, beautifully played over, and that's just going to be the Nautilus pick paying dividends already, Tef.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of a Nautilus pick, especially if you 5-stack. You get a ton of early game level 1 pressure. Oh, they're going to kill the ward. At least blue team knows where the enemy team is and that they're inside and they invaded the red. So we're going to see, we see that blue team has also gotten a ward onto Team HBlock, has gotten a ward on the Raptors, which is going to give a lot of insight onto the early pathing of this Rengar.
I do got to give it out to Tub, though. I mean, not often that I get to cast little cheeky level 1 invades, and although it did result in just a flash and a start of a black shield, I love that energy coming out from Tub. They just want to go ahead and say, yeah, sure. What are you going to do, Morgana?
Yeah, it's also probably the point in the game where they're the strongest and they have the most potential to make a play is going to be one of these early levels. Because outside of that, once this Xayah gets level 6, she's going to be extremely... it's going to be very, very hard to kill a black shield Xayah if you're Nautilus and Kai'Sa.
The hook goes live. There's going to be the root, the spell immune from the black shield. It's going to be it's kind of funny the black shield start actually was the play, so not too bad. and then Wet Noodle fight. I mean, that's the whole thing. But this is
Yeah.
going to be exciting to watch.
Also, just in terms of scaling, like the Sion, I would say definitely outscales the Ornn at this point, which is kind of a crazy thing to say. Almost, you would look at that lane matchup last year and you would say 100 times like that Ornn is just so strong and scales super hard for the rest of his team. But because of the new items and him only getting one of his own empowered items from his passive, he looks like a lot worse of a scaling champion in comparison to the Sion, who can just stack health forever.
I also want to mention, as long as we are here in this lull of the laning phase of this farming and beating the crap out of minions, I do like the Conqueror from the Rengar. Now, sometimes you see Rengars do take the electrocute, or in some even times the phase rush, like you were mentioning earlier, but I like seeing that Rengar thinking that the fights are going to last more than 2-second one-shots.
Yeah, I am a fan of Conqueror Rengar. The only issue is that most of the time, if you're going Conquer, you tend to want the healing aspect of it, and the rune was changed in with how much stacks you need to get it, and it's very, very challenging to actually get a ton of healing out of it now. So I would say it's not great, but in these extended long fights that he's hoping to have against the Sion and Hecarim, he's definitely going to have more kill potential if these fights go longer than like 5 seconds.
I mean, as long as we're looking at team comps at a quick glance, I do have to mention HBK's comp because it is very, very strong in its ability to peel for its ADC and its Syndra. More specifically, its ability, the Xayah able to self-peel, but the Exhaust and the Morgana, the Black Shield, the Hecarim diving backline, Sion is a very... Ooh, we are, and it's going to be a Hook goes live, Hook is on Morgana, Morgana stuck herself, Ignite might go through, and it's going to be first blood over to the Rengar, not who you want to give that to, and that's just going to be a clean walk away.
Yeah, that's just smart pathing from this Rengar. He's just walked through the Tribe Rush. There was no word on it from HBK, and the Nautilus hooked the person who didn't get Black Shielded, and that was the first blood.
And a beautiful first blood at that. Unfortunately, Morgana has to be the sacrificial lamb in this slaughter from the Rengar because I'm scared, Tef. Rengar getting ahead is my top 10 anime fears. So we're going to have to really see how this Rengar uses this lead.
Yeah, he's got gold now. He has to snowball it for the rest of his team because, I mean, in my opinion, if this game goes long enough, there's not a lot that Red Side can do against, the infinite scaling of the strong scaling of Syndra and Sion, and even Xayah for that matter.
I am thinking of the funniness of a Sion fighting a Rengar and Rengar not able to actually pierce through that hard shell of just health that this big meaty man has. So that's a good point. The longer this game goes, the more unfortunate it's going to be over for HBK.
Yeah, we're going to see Sion back here. I actually would like to see the Sion call the Hecarim up to help him push out this last wave against the Ornn, because otherwise this Ornn can just let this wave push into him and create a freeze and basically get a CS advantage out of that. The Hecarim was topside. I guess you could argue that the Hecarim needs to back in order to retain tempo on the map to clear his bot side. But
here comes the 3-man mid flash. There's going to be the root, and it's going to be a flash for as well. 2 flashes for possibly nothing. The Hook goes live. Syndra being bought very, very low. There's Ignite. There's another flash. So much pin. But
another kill for Rengar.
Yep, and Syndra goes down in the mid lane. Rengar 2-0, and it's only at the cost of a couple of flashes. Let's just say 3 and an Ignite.
Yeah, and not even Ahri's Ignite. So while she just got the shove in the wave, and she's going to be able to back and get items now, she's going to have a pretty powerful dueling against the Syndra for a small period of time because she's going to have ultimate. The Syndra doesn't have ultimate right now, and also the Ahri has Ignite still, which means...
Well, Wet Noodles are getting a little more wet than necessary. Here comes the ultimate, here comes the Call of Force, guys. It's going to be a knock-up. This Zion's dead as heck, unless...
Oh, I guess not.
Unless Shield goes live, Ornn trying to get something, Watson trying to do anything, Watton still trading a reason. There's the flash, and no kill there, but it looked very close.
Yeah, and I guess Sion's flash isn't insanely important. Uh-oh.
There's the ghost, there's the Rengar ultimate. Oh, there it is. There's Ryer on a killing spree, and now it's going to be the charm going a little bit wide, but Ryer able to get it. The Scout of the Week not doing a whole lot. There's the Ignite we talked about earlier, and that's Ryer getting a double kill. Oh no, Tef, it's a 4-0 Rengar. It's every ADC's nightmare.
This game has gone from, as long as we get time to scale to as long as we get time to hopefully play the game past 20 minutes. However, this Xayah, she has, you know, pretty good farm for this for this point in the game, and this Syndra being 0-2 against this Ahri is super rough for her. She's gonna have a difficult time equalizing inside this matchup and not being a, you know, a potential weak point for the whole laning phase, and maybe even some of the side laning that's gonna happen as we convert into the mid and late game.
That is, by the way, Tub, ladies and gentlemen, picking up the Ocean Drake at this 7-minute marker. They have started the eventual countdown of the soul, of which we do not know just yet, but that's a nice Drake to grab early over on the side of Tub.
Yeah, it's the Ocean Drake giving you mana and HP for time spent outside of combat is super strong for laning. And we're also going to see that it's a Cloud Drake that's coming up second. So we're going to see a Mountain or an Infernal Soul. Both of these comps would benefit from a Mountain Soul. Imagine a Mountain Soul on top of a Scion or an
No,
Ornn.
thank you. No, thank
Yeah.
you.
That champ will not die.
Absolutely not. I'm hoping for the sake of Tub, it's going to be actually a Infernal Soul because, I mean, at this point, Rengar kill harder, right? So why not just watch the one-shots go wild?
Yeah, and if it is a Mountain Soul and somehow H-Block does end up, you know, equalizing and getting this soul, it's going to kind of negate so much of the early game power that this Rengar has gotten out of his kills.
This is true, and the more I do think about it, the more I do agree with you. It's going to be up more or less to the Kaisa to kill that Scion when the time comes to it. But we'll have to see, because it's up to Scion to kind of play this one out, but currently down 3-0 CS, 30 CS at the 8-minute point.
Yeah, that's rough. Like I said
earlier.
I'm
sorry, correction, 2-0. I apologize, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's only 20 CS. He has a huge wave coming into him, so he's going to actually get a lot more. He'll probably only be down around 10 CS at the end of this wave. Actually, no, he's still at 52 CS to 71. It's looking really rough for this Scion. Like I said, when he was backing earlier and his Hecarim was also topside, Ornn got a free freeze for at least a wave and a half, 2 waves, to basically create a huge CS lead that we are just now seeing the effects of.
All right.
Potential lane game.
There's a knock up. Rengar going in. Here's the come. The Scion forced to ult away. Definitely the right call there, because the last thing you want is there to be a 5-0 Rengar.
Yeah, and something that is important to remember is Rengar's passive. Right now, I don't know how many stacks he exactly has on it, but once he gets a takedown on each of the enemy champions, he got a takedown on the Morgana. I know that for sure. I believe he was definitely involved in the takedown for the Syndra. I can't remember if he was involved in the kill on Hecarim, or actually he must have been, because he has the only kills on their team.
Yep, he jumped right over and got the Hecarim. The Charm actually lands. That's gonna be the kill. Ryer on Unstoppable. Oh no, it's begun, Tef. It's begun. Look at the damage. I blinked. That Syndra had died.
And he still doesn't even have all 5 stacks of his passive yet, where he gets 25% bonus attack damage. He's going to be a monster if he gets a takedown on all 5 unique enemy champions.
This is what I love to see, though. The Rengar, the last thing you'd really kind of expect, you're expecting the Udyr, you're expecting the Lilia, but you do see this hyper-aggressive jungler of the Rengar. That's turret down. First turret, 10 minutes into the game. Beautifully played over on the side of Tub, but... Oh, all right. We're having a bit of an ADC fight here in the bot lane. Oh, brought very low, but no dice.
Yeah, that's always a little tough. The whole matchup between a Kaisa and a Xayah is as the Xayah walks, or as the Kaisa walks at the Xayah, she has to be able to maneuver around where the feathers will be pulled back from. And Crumpy did a magnificent job of making sure that every single time that the Xayah was autoing, that if Xayah hit E at that point, he would not be caught and rooted and potentially killed. I don't think that they would necessarily convert into a kill, but it was definitely, well played from Crumpy.
Normally, I don't want to go ahead. First off, and that's an excellent point, because I did completely forget the feathers when fighting Xayah, which is probably why I don't play ADC among many reasons. But also, I do want to point out that we are only 11 going on 12 minutes into this game of League of Legends, and currently a 5k gold lead in favor of Tub. 5,000 gold. Tef, this early is going to spell disaster for HBK unless they can figure out how to deal with this Rengar.
Yeah, and you have to look at also, there's a 1.2k gold difference in between these ADCs, and that almost all of that is purely farm. And I mean, if you're trying to win this game, you cannot be behind as the bot laner when your Syndra has been ganked 3 times.
Cyan chose to ult there. Not quite sure what's going on, but the ult did go into the pit, and now it's going to be Ryer. TB coming alive. It's going to be a little bit of a fight. Here comes the Heck in the backline. Hecker moves down. Lazy Archer has picked up the kill, and now Call of Forge God will look at a knockup. It's going to be a no, actually interrupted. Not stopped. Knockup goes to the Xayah. Xayah's actually out of her ultimate. Now the Hecker goes in. Or correction, not the Hecker. It's going to be a lot of damage coming from the Rengar as there goes the Morgana killed, and now Rengar just doing Rengar's best. Sion not able to pick up anything there because it's going to be dominating and pick up on the Syndra as well. Double kill for Ryer. It's just not even close. This Rengar is too big.
And that's the 4th stack of his passive. He is consistently just getting stronger and stronger. I believe he's at 16% increased attack damage right now for his Bone Tooth Necklace stacks, which means that the next time there's a fight in the jungle, as there was just now, there is almost no chance that Xayah survives long enough to not give the Bone Tooth, the final 5th stack, to him. That's a interesting ultimate.
We all have done it. I'm sure it's just addicting to do. But let's watch Ryer in this fight. We do see all of these teams come up, but then Ryer just pops off.
Yeah, he almost instantly kills the Hecarim along with his Ahri. He's in his ultimate standing here the whole time, looking to get on top of the Xayah, I believe. He jumps onto the Morgana and is able to use like these 2 bushes right here to keep on stacking his passive and jumping and just consistently doing a damage against the whole of a Team H-Block.
And that Ace Block unable to actually respond to this Hecarim. Ryer playing that so smooth. Like you said, waiting for the opportunity to strike in, not just going in thinking I have Conquer, I'm fed, let's do it. Even though this Rengar is still big, still respecting the amount of CC and damage that HBK can do, and was choosing their fights perfectly. And I gotta give props. If you're gonna play Rengar, that's how you do it.
Yeah, he's playing extremely well on this pick. Something that is like interesting to point out is he has a sheen after completing his Duskblade, which means that has to be built into an Essence Reaver. And well, besides like Rengar not having any mana, looks like
Lamar
Nautilus
flash out.
Good flash,
Yep,
actually.
the hook and the flash could have gotten caught, but able to escape. But back to your point.
Yeah, he's gonna build an Essence Reaver, which means he's going for, like, he just wants to touch someone and have them instantly die.
I also, I gotta mention, and you mentioned this earlier, and I gotta pick back up on it. Look at that 150 bounty on Kai'Sa from simply farming. That's kind of what you want to see from your ADCs. And here comes Ryer. The flash has come out, a natural flash indeed. A lot of damage. Ryer gets rooted, and that's going to be it. A one-time picks of the kill, but that is just all Rengar damage. We had a fight here in the bot lane.
Oh, it's
ADC versus
level...
ADC,
oh,
backing.
No.
Oh no, back in the middle of the lane, and unfortunately, Crumpy's gonna pay that kill for sure. A quick kill from that passive of Kai'Sa.
Yeah, that's always a tough one to watch. As you walk back and channel your back, I'm assuming that she was caught inside of like shop and just unfortunately didn't see the Kai'Sa in time. Let's hope that's what happened at least.
Just the end
but
of
that Kai'Sa made short work of her, and we're seeing like almost a 40 CS gap between the ADCs now too, which is, if you're an ADC and you're seeing a 40 CS gap and you have a 7-0-3 Rengar on your team, you're pretty much content with saying this game is over.
There is, Tef, if I may be so bold, a 9k gold lead in favor of top. This is looking rougher and rougher as it goes on. And it's not like the Rengar is going to get, there's the root. There's going to be a lot of damage, though. Hold on. Lamar getting caught out a little bit. Gets knocked away from the Hecarim and will actually probably go down. And now it's going to be the Ahri forced away. The Hecarim ult did not actually connect because Ahri ult is basically 3 dashes on a cooldown. So I'm not quite sure what Lamar was doing there, possibly putting some deep vision in, but does get caught this early in the game.
Yeah, he has to be more, like, he has to be very careful. Not necessarily that him dying there is, like, somehow him gonna instantly lose him the game. Also, Crumpy has to be careful here.
That's true. Oh my goodness, 1Q, huh? Oh, seems
yeah,
good to me.
Evolved Acathian Rain having single target damage onto the Xayah is gonna just half health her with all of the, with the serrated Dirk negating like 10 armor from the Xayah. Grumpy might be able to...
Grumpy's going to go in there. So on the Captain Ringo's wires, the ultimate comes from Zayat, but the Ruko's live. And now, unfortunately, he'll has to come out, but that's going to be stunned for 8.5 years. There's going to be pullback. There's going to be the Captain Rain caught under the Morgana, but the Guardian comes out for Nautilus. And a 1v2 in its purest essence. Here comes the Hecarim, and it's going to be Grumpy from his run. Oh, the hook! And now it's going to be on the turnaround. Grumpy doing a lot of damage. It's Grumpy on a killing spree. Grumpy picks up the triple in the bot lane. That is absolutely insane.
That is really, really hard to not tilt from. You see the Xayah use her ultimate, going straight in onto a 1v2, and she lives this when she most likely shouldn't have. And to see the Xayah just 1v3 you after that is, you kind of want to leave the game at that point.
Yeah, when the Kais is in that, the damage comes out, the flash, but this Nautilus, I gotta talk about Lamar. Look, this play on the Hecarim makes me so happy, and I wish every support was like this, because you see Crumpy kind of clearing the wave, Q's down, boom, bop, bop, and that's just it. That's it. The Knight comes out, what do?
There really isn't that much you can do. And if your team H-block, throwing 3 people at, this extremely strong Kai'Sa and just having her not die at all, it's definitely like looking very dire for this team. Also, a level 12 to level 10 in the top lane.
There it goes! There's the Rengar, and there goes the Syndra! What even?
That is... ouch.
Oh, I picked up my glass of water and almost spat it on my nose. That's how quick that kill was. It was almost like Rengar was clearing a caster minion. It was just absolutely nuts and exactly what we were talking about. Yeah,
and just to show, this Orin is level 12 while this Morgana is level 17. There's not only just a gold difference in this game, but there is a very noticeable experience difference too. And as these levels keep on getting farther and farther apart, we're gonna see Xayah once she gets level Kai'Sa, as she gets level 11 and she gets that upgrade to her ult, she can just fly in from even farther away and just assassinate almost anyone on your team except maybe the Sion. Sion's gonna be a little fight.
Sion gets a little bit ulted, but it's not gonna do a whole lot. Here goes the Call of Forge God. Ornbot very, very low. Sion does go down, coming on a rampage, and then there's Nina in the background, but there she goes, bye-bye! And Nautilus will go back down, and now Ornbot very, very low, and Rengar, no doubt looking for something else because he can. Morgana left her own devices. Oh, Ryer, you're so greedy, but I love it. I know I see the Syndra in your eyes, but I want it so bad, but no, we'll back off, and we'll just take that 1 for 2.
Oh, he's popping Rift Herald. They want to rotate bot and get this bot turret before the next dragon spawns. I'm assuming that they're just trying to create as much pressure as possible so that Crumpy's gonna be...
Crumpy just there! Crumpy ults in! And Crumpy picks up the kill on Hecarim, and there you go! Now, congratulations, BK. Not only do you have to deal with a Hecarim one-shot at you, but you have to deal with the damage of the Kai'Sa, who is now 6-0 with 2 items.
Yeah, and she has the Collector, which means that if she gets on top of this Syndra, if she gets on top of this Morgana, this Xayah, and she just gets to auto you until her passive procs, you are most likely not living past that. And also, something to point out is that Rengar 100% has all of his passive stacks now. He has a 25% bonus to his attack damage. He is so strong and so snowballed at this point that it is hard to walk up, even if you're Sion, maybe.
And I do have to mention, I'm not quite sure if Wonton's going to go for this just yet, though it looks like he was. I have to say, before we do see these kind of clips on good old Reddit or whatever saying, Rengar's overpowered, Tub took a risk with this pick. They said, if Rengar gets ahead, we're going to do great, but they have to get ahead first and foremost. And this is the power of that Rengar in the jungle who's just doing that. Getting ahead, snowballing this game out of control, and making the Syndra look like a balloon.
Yeah, I mean, this Rengar has played the early game especially well too. He found the very, very smart early gank to get a first kill, and then he basically hardcore camped this Syndra, and this Syndra was unable to really do anything in her already counter-picked lane. If you're this Syndra, you're feeling very, very sad after this game.
I mean, that's just a lesson learned, right? If you let Ryer get away with these off-meta champions, it's just gonna be a nuts situation. You can't let them just run loose in the rift like this. At that point, Was Syndra the play? Maybe. Was Hecarim the play against that? Maybe, but we'll never truly know that other than you got to watch these kind of junglers. Other teams, Ryer, look out.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely took a champion who does not have very good early ganking power, and he played creative enough to find some early pathing that got him the first blood on Morgana. So you definitely have to play smart against Ryer.
And now we are hopping into, it looks like just an easy Baron take. There should be no contest if they're even possible. And then what's next, Tef? 3 minutes. That's going to be Soul. It's at this point, it's waiting to die, but it's going to be ultimate coming from the. That's going to be enough. Baron does go in fact down, and now it's just the Hecarim by himself in the back line. Meanwhile, it's going to be a bit of a fight in the front line. The front line taking a lot of damage. Oh, not dying. And the Kai'Sa goes in. Kai'Sa's going a lot of damage. Kai'Sa's not dying either. 2 Zhonya's going off, though. The flash goes live, and now it's going to be a trade. The Kai'Sas go down. It's a difficult kill, and now it's going to be a pop. And here we go. Rengar on the chase. Scout of the week does not knock it back a little bit, but that is a 4-for-1. And, oh, does he get this? Lamar. Oh,
no,
my heart.
He's too low on mana, I believe, to actually survive with his dark or whatever his W is called. I forget it off the top of my head.
Well, that was Tef. That was a 4-for-1 and Baron, and we here in the industry call that worth. So it looks like it's going to be kind of Tubbs' game to run away with. If it hasn't been already, it definitely is now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Scion, they just have to look to try and get a few kills here as the red team is retreating. Though, even with this Hecarim speed, they're unable to actually get on top of him. This Hecarim doesn't have ultimate or ghost. He used both to try and get into the Baron pit and steal it. If you're team H block right now, I guess your best hope is that as these teams back, you have to try and find, some vision inside, establish a vision line in your red side jungle, and just hope that you're going to be able to move around your own jungle enough to actually be able to contest this next dragon.
And here's the issue that you brought about at the very beginning, and we're talking about it now. Next dragon, like you said, 1 minute 30, we have that mountain, which gives them the mountain soul. So if you were planning on killing Rengar, now's kind of the time.
Yeah, and also, looks like Lamar's just going to dodge the binding. Pretty good micro from him. Nothing's going to really happen here. But yeah, if you were planning on killing Ornn for that matter, he has Thornmail, Iceborne Gauntlet, Merc Treads. Once he gets this last Mountain Dragon, there is almost no way that you have Xayah hit him enough times that he's actually going to die. This Xayah doesn't have Kraken Slayer or Lord Dominic's yet. She's really hurting to actually get some damage.
Okay, here comes Call to the Forge God. It's going to be, whoa, no, there's the ultimate from the Hecarim away, but that's the Kai'Sa in the backline. Kai'Sa just doing backline stuff. Kai'Sa right-clicking very hard. Sign able to do a pretty good knockup, but unfortunately not a lot of damage coming out after that. And now it's just Rengar and Kai'Sa pulling away. Crumpy killing this poor Scion. Scion's passive not able to do a whole lot. And that is just going to be a complete mop-up. This should be game, set, match. No knockoff on Ornn, but
they have Baron and 2 waves crashing these turrets right now. Oh, is Syndra dead?
Oh, yeah, brought very low. That's going to be it. That's Crumpy getting a slay on the Syndra. Morgana, last one standing. A quick 23-minute game. Beautifully played from Tubb. And there's just, where do we even begin? That's just so much damage. They're just now greeting for kills. Wait, okay, Hecarim trying to do something here. Shut down on that Rengar. Could this be avarice? Could this be greed? Could this be ambition? But I don't think they actually die here. Now realizing Tubbs trying to finish it off. This should be it because Lazy Ostrich is just auto-attacking, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Tubb taking this one out of the gate and running with it all the way home.
Incredible snowball by this Rengar. He played it extremely well, and he also did a great job at not throwing his lead either. He only died once, and that was at the very end of the game when he was fountain diving, for that matter.
Honestly, looking across the team of Tubb, there was not a single player that I didn't think was doing well. It's just some players popped off, and it's, oh my goodness, my Ornn!
Ornn with the most damage in the game.
I forget the assassin DPS mage class. Okay, cool. Well, then there you have it. It is a team effort, and that team performed very well. True.
Yeah. Percentage health damage on this Scion.
True. The team performed extremely well, and my goodness, Tef, that was a game and a half.
That certainly was really well played by Tubb. Actually, if we could get a look at the gold, just click the X. The gold that each carry had. You look at the side of Team H Block, they had almost all of them had less gold than Nautilus, which that is just goes to show you that this was also just an extremely one-sided match, and that Team Tub played this extremely well.
And that they did. Well, Tef, and ladies and gentlemen here in the audience, this was an excellent match. We have 2 more on the way. Please stick around. So far, we've had a complete banger, and this one was a complete way of how to play the macro and micro. There is more to come here at Friend or Foe, so stick around.
Folks, welcome back. Chris Edgeworth again with the interview with the Ugly Barnacles, Lamar the Lizard, after that win on Nautilus. How you feeling?
Feel great. It feels good to be undefeated.
Yeah, and we'll be
4-0.
talking about the dynasty you're building here a little bit later. But if you could first start us off, we were talking in the break, and you mentioned that you guys like to do a lot of prep. Talk to me about your preparation for this game, and then especially bringing in the spicy Rengo.
So before every game, we do like a lot of homework on what champs people play and what champs they're starting to play now. And it was confusing because they had a lot of people playing in their games. But what we wanted to do was leave Hecarim, Tristana, and Nautilus open. That way they had first pick, so we could get the other 2. They ended up banning the Tristana, and then they first picked the Hecarim, but he doesn't have that many games played on the Hecarim, so we were fine with it. And then I took Nautilus, and Nautilus has been good every game, so we were okay with that. And then when Ryer picked Rengar, that's one of his best champs. So when he's on that champ, it's kind of scary for everybody else, to be honest.
Yeah, and it quickly developed into a Diffie and the Jiffy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so, and you were the beneficiary a little bit of that, especially in the early game, first blood in your lane. Talk to me about playing out the early game and getting that first blood, what it did for your game.
So because we got the Nautilus pick, Ryer was like, okay, we're gonna invade, and I was down with that. We all were, so we went down, and we all went to Tribush, and then we saw the morgue, and when we walked into the bush, she had spell shield on. So then I threw the Q because I still pulled towards her, so it doesn't really matter. And then she flashed, so she didn't have flash. So we're like, okay, come bottom right away. We're killing this Morgana for first blood, and that's pretty much what happened.
There you go. That's textbook right there. I hope everyone's paying attention to the undefeated, just giving out the strats right here on the desk, folks. So going on from that, I mean, it was quickly snowballed. I mean, the Rengar was transitioning his lead around a lot, using the gold that was accruing on him and distributing that, so to speak, the attention to his lanes. Later, though, Crumpy was able to 2v3 with you in the bottom lane, talking about winning that tense fight.
Yeah, that was kind of lucky, but Crumpy was beating, I believe it was the Xayah, pretty much alone, and I think he solo killed her. And then I got there pretty much just in time to proc Guardian, and then kill the Morgana, and then Triumph procced or something, and then I had Ignite for the Hecarim, and then the Hecarim just stood there perma-rooted and died. And we got very lucky. We take that one.
That was calculated, let's say. Calculated.
Oh yeah, quick move.
Looking forward, after 2 weeks, 4-0, how does it feel to be the only undefeated team in Mythic?
It feels very good. All I'm saying is that where whoever writes the rankings, I think it's about that time. We should be number 1.
That's certainly a statement. Well, Lamar, I would like to thank you for joining us here for the interview. Is there any final words you'd like to give us before we leave the desk?
No, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, excellent, folks. We'll be back after a short break, but after that, we'll have Game 3 of the Mythic League. Don't touch that browser. We'll be right back.